What's going on, people of YouTube? It's Masculinish here, and I wanted to make a video just talking about some general things about E3 and stuff like that. The past few days have been just straight up entertainment for me, watching all the E3 press conferences, EA, Bethesda, Xbox, PlayStation, Ubisoft, and Nintendo Treehouse. And it's really strange to say, but I don't feel that E3 is what it used to be. And by what I mean by that is just, you know, these companies would come out there and they would hype the shit out of this new game. You know, you wouldn't even know if it would suck or anything like that. You know, they'd come out and be like, game, this game, that game, this game is gonna be great, that game's gonna be great. And then right at the end they'd be like, okay everybody, see you later. You know, they'll walk away and then they'll be like, we got one more thing. One more thing. Check it out. And then all of a sudden, it'd be bam! Bam! There'd be gameplay of this game that we were like, what? They're making that? Or what? That game series is coming back? Wow! Like, just... like, I remember the past... like, the worst E3 that I ever remember seeing was 2013 when the Xbox One was revealed and the PlayStation 4 was revealed. Not... like, I was so excited for the PlayStation conference. Like, that was just fucking straight up hilarious, man. They were like dissing Xbox like crazy. They're like, hey, this is how you're gonna play games. This is how you share games on PlayStation 4. Here you go. And then he hands it to the guy. That was a good year. I think that was like, that's where the downfall started happening. That was where the downfall started happening for E3. But at the same time, it was also probably the last interesting one. Now it seems like test ground for developers and games and stuff like that. This year, Xbox was like my favorite because just the creativity of the performance that they showed. And Ubisoft's was great too. PlayStation's was kind of meh. Because, yeah, there was a lot of game trailers, and that's what E3 was all about, but it's not... for me, it's not about the games. It's the way that they present the games that makes E3 what it is and what it has been in the past. You don't just come out and be like, hey guys, we're PlayStation. Game. Alright, see you later. You know, like... it's the way that you present them. You come out on stage and... you know, you sit down with the developers, you talk about, you know, these developers who've been working on these games for years, and get the inside of the troubles that they went through to really make this game, to make us feel like it's something that it's worth. You know, the $60 or the $70 in Canada, the $80 right now, because that's what we pay for games, it's the $80. And I just don't feel like it matters anymore that E3 is a thing, because I remember sitting down. I watched you know, Xbox's conference. Actually, it was Bethesda's first. Bethesda's was great. You know, they came out. They said, "Hey, man, get this: Fallout 4 VR," and everyone was like, like, we already knew VR was going to be a thing. We already knew VR. They were like, companies were going to push VR. And they did, basically. Like, everybody had something to say about VR throughout their entire thing. You know, Sony had their VR, their games like Resident Evil 7, and, you know, they released the date that the PlayStation VR was going to be coming out. And, you know, the Xbox said, hey, we're working on the Scorpion, or the Scorpio, and it's going to be, you know, VR-based. You know, that's what we're working on. It's going to be a VR-based game and system and stuff like that. And then Ubisoft had their thing about it, and EA also said a few things about it. I can't remember what it was, because I'm not a big fan of the EA press conference, because they always have to talk about FIFA and, you know, NBA or, yeah, the NBA games and stuff like that, and, you know, the NHL games and stuff like that, but that's just because that's honestly where their bread and butter is. And it's not so much in Canada where you'll find people buying those games, but that's like, we didn't see much from Activision, which is strange. Like, we saw, you know, some gameplay footage for Infinite Warfare, but there wasn't. It's like they were just hiding. They're like, oh no, like, if we show any more Infinite Warfare, we're gonna scare away potential customers. We're just gonna, you know, here's this gameplay trailer thingy for PlayStation. Just make it look good so we can get COD back on the map again. No, to get COD back on the map again, you gotta do something different. Something that's completely different. You just gotta take the risk. And that's what E3 has always been about. You know, they would always come out and show one game that was like, what the heck is this? And they, you know, they would, like, talk about it, and even if that game never came out, like, it was still like, wow, like, holy crap, this is different. This is something everyone was like, woo, you know, like, pumped for this new game or something like that. But now it's just, you know, hey, we talked about these games in 2014 and 2015. Now we're talking about them again in 2016. Here's the progress on this game. Ooh, Watch Dogs 2. Yay. I mean, don't get me wrong, Watch Dogs 2 does look like it's a step up from what Watch Dogs 1 was. Because Watch Dogs 1 was just straight up disappointment for me. Like, I had that game for about 3 months and I sold it like 3 months after that. Like, I couldn't even finish the campaign because I'm like, this game just infuriated me. It would be different if they actually marketed the game like it was supposed to. And it's like now the E3 conferences, it's like they're too afraid to step outside the boundaries, like the safe zone. It's like their E3s are in the safe zone. They just do the bare minimum to get people excited, and that's it. And it's a shame. It's a really big shame because past E3s have just been awesome. Like, I remember, what was it? I think it was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare? Or was, no, which one was it? Yeah, Advanced Warfare. Like a couple of years back, like when the building fell down, and I can't remember if that was maybe that was Black Ops 3. I think that was Black Ops 2 or something like that. But anyway, there was an E3 where they were showing a Call of Duty game, and the building fell down, like they were walking through the demo. I remember going like, damn! You know, like, and then they showed, like, you know, Far Cry 4, like or Far Cry 3? Yeah, Far Cry 3, when they showed Far Cry 3, I remember everybody was like, yeah! Like, fucking losing their minds. Because it was something different. Like, and this year, like, the only thing that really piqued my interest was Xbox's conference where they had Sea of Thieves, where they did this, like, different gameplay setup where they had it almost like a Let's Play kind of thing. You know, they had the camera, you know, they had the game, and then they had, like, the webcam up in the corner of each player, and they basically took, like, these people that never played the game before, and they're like, here's this game, play it. And it was great. Like, I was laughing, I was smiling at the people, you know, the comments they were making, and that game looks like it's going to be a great co-op game. And at Ubisoft's press conference, when they did almost like the same thing for Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Badlands, that game, like, I was like, damn, man, I can totally sit down and see some people playing some badass role-playing games. And like, the only 3 games that are really on my radar right now are Resident Evil 7, Sea of Thieves, and Ghost Recon Badlands. And it's because they're established franchises and established, you know, game developers, but they're breath of fresh air again. Like, you know, Resident Evil 7 is going first-person view, which I'm a little skeptical of because, I mean, I haven't seen too much, because that could be just totally something different. Like, that could just be the VR aspect of Resident Evil 7. For all I know, it could be still over the shoulder, you know, like Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 7, or Resident Evil 6. But to me, it stands out because it's something different. And Ghost Recon, it's the same thing. Like, yeah, you know, it's an over-the-shoulder shooter, but it's just the way that they presented it. That's what I'm talking about. Presentation is key when it comes to these games. You just can't come out and say, hey, everybody, here's our press conference, and then 60 minutes of game trailers. Like, no, like, you can't do that. Game trailers, like, you could just take those game trailers and upload them to YouTube and still have the same effect. Like, no, I want to see these developers coming out and talking about how much blood, sweat, and tears went into this specific game, and all these obstacles that they had to get around, and, you know, listening to the fans and building a game that the fans wanted, and all that stuff, like Ubisoft's press conference, where they were like, hey, man, you know, we listened for Watch Dogs 2, or Watch Dogs, here's Watch Dogs 2, you know, this is the game we want. The same thing with Xbox. When Phil Spencer came out and said, you know, we want, this is the console, like, Scorpio, this is the console for you. We heard you, we understand what you really want, we understand that innovation is key, we understand that no matter the loyal fans for the consoles, if we don't listen to the loyal fans of the consoles, it's going to put us in jeopardy. So here is this console that we are making for you. And that really got me going. That was exciting, because if a company really cares about the gaming industry, cares about the people who play their games, then yeah, they should take some time to do something different. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about that, because E3 was great. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed watching the press conferences and all that stuff, and, you know, Nintendo, yeah, you know, they did like a whole press conference on one game, Zelda, but anyway, that's my opinion on that. Thank you guys for checking out this video. Sorry about the shitty audio quality. If you watched my last video, you'll know that I broke my headset. But I was going to do a little more video about this, but here is a sneak peek for people who care. That is my new microphone. I'm just waiting on my mixer, my USB interface mixer, so I can get some phantom power for this thing. That's not coming until like next week. But anyway, thank you guys so much for checking out this video. As always, I'm Askanish. I'll see you guys in the next video.